Not in our name, yes. But then what? We condemn it, but we need to go a step further from condemnation.
Yes.
And that is to show that we're together.
Extremism by its nature arises out of a very narrow perspective of one's own identity, and part of that might be one's own faith. So interfaith can demonstrate a counter-narrative to an extremist narrative. Interfaith can demonstrate how people who are very different, who have very different ideas, very different beliefs, very different ways of looking at the world, can be in touch with their common humanity.
A person, he was an ex-CDL member, and we used to quite often have a very close links with our Christian community and the Muslim community. He used to have a lot of misconceptions about the Muslim community. One day, one of the Christian activist, peacemaker in our local community, said to him, "Why don't you go speak to this individual?" Myself. He came to me, spoke to me, left his number, we spoke, and we agreed on 90% of the stuff we talked about. We believed in the same thing, we believed in the same message of peace, harmony, love, respect. He speaks openly now that his communication with me and people of the Muslim community changed his perspective.
Interfaith engagement is a really kind of easy way to make people understand that people are human, that's starting to change the conversation around extremism, that it's not about particular faith communities anymore, that it's much more about people. And that's a very long process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
So I think we need to think more carefully about what the purpose of those sorts of worldviews and faith communities is in terms of creating longer term networks of relationship. That surely may be one way to break down the possibility that some people decide they are so disenfranchised from the notion of community, they're so disempowered. Surely it's only that longer term vision which can begin slowly to address some of those issues.
It needs so much awareness, so much maturity to overcome those individuals and those organizations that try to plant those seeds of division and hatred.
Not in our name, yes. But then what? We condemn it, but we need to go a step further from condemnation.
Yes.
And that is to show that we're together.
There's many groups who use the banner of faith to say they speak on behalf of different faiths. And I think the only way we can defeat those organizations is if we stay united and if we stand next to each other and say, you are not welcome, you do not represent our communities, you do not represent our faith, you are not going to divide us, and we are not afraid of you.